is it, it is freezing today. Oh, I mean, I've come up actually in the car and all that, just little walk there was just for the camera, but it is so cold. But I want to do a tour of my garden to show you, yeah, you can still grow stuff through the winter. And I know, man, brutal today, but come on, I want to show you. So let us get in to the garden. Yes, a little December. Look at the clouds, man. It's just like we've had a weather warning as well. So it's, to be honest, looking over it there now, and the gunshots in the background. Actually, they're gas guns to scare the birds off the crops. I'm really pleased, to be honest. I'm kind of really on top of it, and things that are going through the winter are, well, some are really good and some are absolutely terrible, which I'll get to in a second or two. But yeah, all looking good. I have been, if we go over to the compost bins, I've been using, and I've been going down deep into it. I've still got a whole load left of like last year's compost for this year's kind of bedding. And if you remember, you can see kind of down there, nice and neat. I did this bed, I did that bed over there. I tell you what, we'll do this and then we'll go around properly first. I did the celeriac bed as well, and I pulled up loads of celeriac, and I've given it a huge feed. There must have been about 8 bucket loads go on there, and the celeriac were just like, there was nothing on the other ones. They were just kind of, you know, that one there, excuse me, is a giant compared to the other ones. So we'll just wait and see. Do you know what I mean? Just wait and see. So that bed's been heavily composted. These beds have down there. So I'm quite pleased with like how I'm getting on with the jobs. You know, like, because it has been like cold and it doesn't encourage you to come up. But I went round that bed, picked them out. You know, like, this is what I'm saying, lettuce still, and this has had no cover. I've got up there, you know, that big nasty bed, I've got a cover there, but you know what I mean? I'll get some pickings off there. I don't want to pick them like straight away because, you know, there's not that many leaves, but I'm happy with that bed. Right, I'll tell you what, because I'm all over the place. Let me just turn you around. Hello, my name's Tony Smith and welcome to my garden. So we'll have a little kind of tour of what's happening and what's going on, if I'm chuffed with anything. First off, this is the kind of usual potato bed. Now I did a video the other day where, and you can see, look at, still, and even when you hoe, that they've kind of cut the little bottoms off, but they can still kind of sink their roots again. So there's still, you know, it's still weeds there, or, you know, chickweed, but I'm going to give it a good feed as well for that. And I was 100% sure that I was going to like trench them like the old-fashioned way, but I might go back to the bucket. Buckets is just so easy, to be honest. So it's just waiting fallow for us to get my finger out and get some compost on there. Then come next year, we should be good to go. These are my Japanese onions, or winter onions, and they've come up. Everyone's come up. I've surprised myself there, you know what I mean? So I'm happy with that. I think this might be, did somebody say chicory? I'm not sure, because I planted this, I lost the label, and I'm not sure what's going on, but it's looking healthy. I haven't even touched it because I don't know what it is, to be honest. But someone tell us what it is. We have chard. Now I've had a couple of pickings, but not as many as I should have, and it's purely just down to, you know, I haven't had like kind of time and just issues and that. But I have, you know, you can see just these two side here. I have had some crops from it, and it's honestly fried in a wok with butter and olive oil, garlic, and everything like that. But a few chilies, delicious. I think these are just onions from last year that I planted in for spring onions, which will be fantastic. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna, there's not many there, but I'll just pick them soon, and then I'll just kind of put a bit more compost on, and that bed's ready. Just keen eyes might say, bloody hell, Tony. Now I wasn't meant to this is the lowest point of the whole allotment, so it does get a lot of water and a lot of gunk. And I was going to lift up a couple of the flags just so it would soak away, but I decided against it. But I've had a bit of a clean, brushing paths, and it's just, you know, the next video will be a good clean up. But I've just got a few bits of the rubbish into one corner. These are my parsnips. Now, we talked on the show, because it was JB last night on the Pottymouth Garden Club. Please support that. Come over and subscribe to that. That would be fantastic. We were having a chat about, because it was Claire in the kind of Discord, who was growing plotty, who's got a growing plotty UK channel, said she had loads of canker on her parsnips. Now, I haven't lifted any of the parsnips, so I'm not 100% sure. And I asked JB if he had. Now, he hadn't grown them, but he was always a bit conscious of like the whole leaf kind of just taking over too much of his land. And it was Steve that mentioned that and I've never done this, mind you, I've never even heard of this before. He's cut it, because they're not growing basically now, but he's cut it all off and he's just kind of mulched it. So that's a kind of neat, and for me as well, you know, it's like a tidy idea as well. So he's cut it all off and mulched it and just leaving them for when, you know, we want the frosts to get the sweetness, to pull the sweetness out of the plant, out of the vegetable. So that's what I'm waiting for. But it's a nice idea, just to kind of mulch it over, you know what I mean? And I think we're all going to have a little go at like parsnips next year, you know, the kind of 4 regulars on the Pottymouth. So I did this bed as well, and again, a good soaking with, or a good covering of the mulch and my homemade compost as well. And that's kind of winter leeks, and I'll be just picking some as few and far between. I've had, and I can just notice there's one there as well, I've had a few go to seed, you know, more than I would like. Look at, there's another one there, and it's obviously just down to the kind of the weather, you know, it's just a bit erratic. Cabbages, right, these are just different brassicas. They've been kind of butchered by snails. I'm just leaving them to see. These are what you call Savoy cabbages, I think, but they've just been hammered by snails, you know what I mean? And I haven't put any like treatments or any kind of sluggy stuff like that. Look at you. We need to see anything more. Can you see that there? You know what I mean? It's like I say, it's Baltic, but they're still bloody live. Do you know what I mean? Now this is just a mixture bed, I think, of different brassicas, and I'm just leaving them, you know what I mean, cabbages there. I've had some shocking results with some of my cabbages. Let's just actually show you there now. This is just going to be probably an onion bed or something little. It's like a seed bed. It's nothing fancy there. Nice dandelion there, if you can observe that. Salad bed. I want to basically get that cleared out pretty soon and get a good. This is me, of all the beds, this is my little favourite. Do you know what I mean? This is my little favourite one. So I want to get it kind of cleared out, pick them lettuces. I mean, there's some grand lettuces there, you know. So yes, get that out, get it covered, and then it's ready. But while we're here, then I'll just show you this. This is my broad beans, and I had a couple of no-shows, but I don't know if they were just late. You can see there's a one there which is a little bit kind of just starting to come through, so I think I'll be all right. I mean, of course I'll be all right. There's loads there, you know what I mean? It was definitely like a no-show in that gap there, just to look at the draw, I guess. But they're the Aqua Dulce, is it, or Aqua? So, and I planted them, and I used them, if you remember, I used them labels. Have a look at this. And I think like probably a day later, the ink that you got with it, I should have just stuck the kind of pencil, came off. So I can't remember when I planted it. But this has been a brassica bed, right? Now I don't know, can you spot it? Can you spot the brassica in there? There's 3 actually. There. That's it there. They have just stood dwarfed. I mean, look at next to that. These are, and it all depends when you plant things out. You know, these were planted out in the right time. These are my sprouting broccoli. They look tremendous. They're sure standard, man. Sure standard. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy as anything with them. They've got a good feed, you know what I mean? Earlier on, So, but the leaves don't look damaged. I mean, I've kind of netted them for the pigeons there, but where this has just been brutally kind of hideously bad. Do you know what I mean? I've actually, and I'll show you, I dug the best ones out of there and I've replanted them in the polytunnel. So the polytunnel is a totally different ecosystem at the minute. So hopefully that'll get, and the same with this bed. But this bed, and I showed this on the show last night as well. This is just getting, you know, I didn't think caterpillars or slugs or snails would be kind of this time of year, but certainly. So basically I'm just going to give it a little weed there and then get that fed as well. Both these beds will be fed, you know what I mean, just to make sure everything's all right. This is a turnip bed, which, if I'm honest, is hanging on by the skin of its teeth. You know, hopefully they'll come through next year and be all right. But we'll wait and see. It's like hard to kind of judge in this weather, because sometimes nothing grows and then sometimes other things grow. And like I say, look, I don't know whether to pick that bloody cauliflower or not. Is it, come on, in the votes in the comments, shall I just grab it now while it's in that stage, or do you think I'll lose it? Different, I think there are cabbages up there, and we've got sprouting broccoli, or calabrese down there, and what a difference. Like, again, time of the year, do you know what I mean? They've got little heads on them, but they're like 5 centimetres across compared to what I had, you know, at the right time to grow them. You know, I had some great ones. Which bed was it? I think it was actually in the sprouting broccoli bed, you know. So I've got these strawberries over there, which I kind of planted. They actually got delivered last month, and I got them in on time. I need to kind of sort out that's all smashed up. To be honest, actually I tripped over it and smashed it. So I've got these strawberries in here, and they seem all right. I'm just hopefully we'll get a little crop. Be nice to actually see, like I say, this big nasty bed has got salad in it, and I'll just move these bricks and see what it's like. Is this, because I did that as a little experiment, just to see if this netting, this fleece would do anything compared to that bed there. You know, they were sown at the same time, planted at the same time. Oh God, aye, they certainly are, aren't they? They're a nice little size there. So I think it must have just kept it, you know, I mean, it's wet and damp, and no matter how much protection, you know, it's kind of falling in the middle there, and it was a bit awkward actually to put it on, but I should have maybe hooped it over. But I'm sure there'll be a couple of pickings there, you know. So yes, that's just waiting. That's me, if you remember my rhubarb bed. Actually, I put some spare daffodils in there as well, but I just left all the leaves just to die back and feed it up. I'll put some more compost on. That's the one that I can just put it on straight away there now, but I never got around to it. I did the raspberries. The raspberries have been like mulched and cut back, and I put some daffodil bulbs, I think the daffodil bulbs, in there as well. And if you remember, I did daffodil bulbs along this little path, because this is a great little border, but it's nothing or something, do you know what I mean? And sometimes things work great and sometimes they fail. So I may be going over to just totally like a flower little arrangement on this bed, we'll see. But that's, like I say, I'm 80% happy with the way things are going. Yeah, the brassicas could have been a little bit better, do you know what I mean? But all in all, it's, you know, the things, like say the broad beans are doing, you know, the ones that I've got coming for next year and all that, they're doing okay. And I'm really pleased with it, the way the salads are going, you know. And that's, again, that's what you want. You want a bit of fresh green in the middle of winter. So we'll just have a look in the polytunnel. Oh. So this is, it's certainly warmer in here. I'll tell you what, I'm going to just shut this door just to keep the the heat in. So this is me brassicas. Actually, there's me beans as well. There's still just about a flower. You know what I mean? These are my little dwarf beans that I'm just keeping going. Everything seems all right with them, but you know what I mean? Be nice to. I'd love to get a little bean. Maybe they'll come. Maybe they'll not. And these are just an array of like Brussels sprouts, cabbages, cauliflowers, everything. These are the ones. These are the better ones that I took from outside and just planted in, just because you can obviously you can tell why these ones, you know, they're okay. Yes, bugger's being hammered by slugs or snails, you know what I mean. So, but the difference, if you can get yourselves a polytunnel or a greenhouse, you know, like the heat is just totally different in, and I could feel it as soon as I walked in. And if we go over to the lettuces inside, you know, I'm just going to pick one of these leaves. I'll just show you with the hand side. You know, these are fair old and lovely sizes there now. You know, they're the Italian lettuce that I love so much. I'm so happy. These are the Cos lettuce, which grew into a lovely big head. Whether they'll grow that much, I'm not sure. But certainly, you know, I'll be picking these leaves soon. You know, so get in some lettuce. Do you know what I mean? Like, or even if like plan for next year, think, right, I'm gonna do it. Do you know what I mean? That's one of the things I'm gonna do. So get it in and get some lettuce planted. These are my mustards, which I know just grew like great. Do you know what I mean? There's like no stopping them. I mean, look at the kind of, you know what I mean, the size of them, the colour of them. They're just great, to be honest. And I'm just going to be like, say this, like picking, you know, certain ones and just making up like a mixture salad bag and taking that down. So, and I think that's a nice rocket. I've got there three rockets there as well. So inside has been totally different. Now, there's one thing I'll just show you here and I think it's the same with the outside. The starting to come is me garlic in a, you know, it's the ideal temperature and everything like that. And some are coming, but it would be nice to have them all at once. But I know if we go outside, that's the same. I forgot to actually show you these over here. Is the elephant garlic is doing great. Do you know what I mean? That's the elephant garlic there. Poked its heads up and everything. But the garlic here is exactly the same as in there. It's just taking its time. And some of them are coming, but I haven't got a problem, you know, waiting. It's nice to kind of, you know, they're all out. You know, it's all kind of ready to go. Potatoes, I'm going to be starting picking some of them now, just so we can have them in the house, to be honest. Potatoes that we're getting at the moment aren't very nice. You know, I know we're kind of buying them, but I want to kind of start using these now. I've just had them here, and to be honest, I've almost like forgotten about them. Do you know what I mean? So it's time to start kind of harvesting and getting them, like, especially for the Christmas, run up to Christmas and the Christmas dinners and everything like that. So all in all, I'm really quite, like I say, 80% happy. I would have loved them brassicas to have a good crop outside as well, but if I can bring them in here in the polytunnel and just have them, you know, go on, that will be fine. Chilies, I'm going to pick them now and just take them down home. They were the kind of, and I haven't watered them for about a month there now, so I mean they're dying, but I just wanted, as you can see there, just to get some of the red ones off there, but they'll get all used up. So yes, all in all, I'm very pleased with December. Look after yourselves, take good care.